Hello, today I would like to speak about culture. In my last videos, I introduced the idea of seeing an animal species as one single living being. So for example, the lions, if I look at the lions, I would see the lions, the species of all lions, just as one creature, as one living being. And this living being then would be very powerful because it would consist of hundreds of million bodies. And in order to kill this creature, I would have to kill all its bodies. Otherwise it can survive in the bodies which are still living. Also, this creature is quite old. It is 100 million years old or even older, because it cannot die. When the lions reproduce, when new lions are born, they are also part of this living being. What does it hold together? It's the genetic code. All lions share compatible genetic code, and this defines the living being, the lion species. So you can see a very powerful animal. Of course, this species changes constantly. I mean, if you as a human being speak about lions, you might say, hey, lions always look the same. But it's not true. It's just because you have such a short lifetime. You think that if you look at the lion species over hundreds of millions of years, you will see that the body changes significantly all the time, because the genes are constantly adapting to the current environment according to the laws of evolution. And a species can also split up. For example, when lions and leopards separated, before they were just one single species, and then they separated into the lions, the stronger cats, the dominant cats, and the leopards, the lighter cats, which always hide and which are very good climbers, and tricky cats. So these are the features of such a powerful life form like a species. And today I want to ask if it is also possible maybe to see the human species as one living being. If you do that, also the human species would become very powerful. So not we humans, we single humans are the life form. No, our species is the life form. And the species consists of billions of human bodies. So it also cannot be destroyed easily. And it lives for hundreds of millions of years. Because whenever new humans are created, are born, the species lives on in them. And also the human species split up in the past. It split up in the event when the Neanderthal species occurred. So the same as the lions, also the human species can split up and thus become two species. Okay, but what is the difference between the human species as a living being and an animal species as a living being? Well, if you look at the lion species, it is defined by the genetic code. The genetic code defines how the cats look like, what the bodies can do, and also the instinct is saved in this genetic code. Of course, this is also true for humans, but we human beings also have something else which has a big impact on our lives, and this is culture. I give you an example. When a new baby is born on this planet, the culture will decide what language the baby is going to speak one day. And it will also decide about how this new human being will interact in the society. Because this is decided by the culture. Maybe the culture of its parents, who will teach their mother tongue to the child, and who will teach also how you should operate in the society, in the local society. So this is not included in the genetic code. And when I look at culture, I can see a lot of similarities between culture and animal species. If I look at it as an animal species, the species lives in millions of animal bodies. And as long as some of them stay alive, also the species stays alive. When you kill all of them, the species becomes extinct. The same is true for a culture. A culture lives in millions of human minds. And in order to wipe it out, all these humans would have to abolish it, or if the humans die themselves, the culture would also not exist anymore in their minds. So this is a similarity. Another similarity is, as species can split up, like the leopards and the lions, also culture can split up. For example, Christianity split up into Catholic Christianity and Protestant Christianity. So here is also a similarity. But there is a big difference. An animal species can change according to the laws of evolution. So even a small change in the instinct or in the animal body takes at least 10,000 years, because the law of evolution works slowly. But you can create a culture in one day. You can adopt a culture as a human being in one day. Or you can dispose a culture in one day. You can change your culture in one day. So a culture can be developed at a much higher speed, and it can be adopted at a much higher speed than the genetic code. So this makes culture so powerful. And because of this, we humans are so powerful in this world. Because we have created machines, we have created cars, we have created computers, we have created huge buildings, we have created airplanes. So this was all possible because we work based on cultures, and animals are not. So animals can learn only very slowly according to the evolutionary laws, and we humans are much quicker with learning. So I can see a similarity between an animal species and culture. As I said before, you can look at an animal species as one living being, and so I want to ask if you could also look at a culture as one living being. Maybe a culture is also a living being. Well, of course, it is not a physical life form because it has no bodies. It only exists in human minds. But beside that, I think there are a lot of similarities, and I think there are some advantages if you see a culture as a living being. Thank you very much for watching.